1998 Australian Open, the impact that these two young ladies have made at such an early stage in their careers has never been done before.
It's the perfect time to honor a black icon who didn't just play tennis, she changed the game. So, who are we talking about? It's none other than the only player to have achieved a Grand Slam in both singles and doubles. From the courts of Compton to the world stage, Serena Williams' name is set in stone. So sit back as we reintroduce you to one of the greatest athletes of all time. Who is Serena Williams? If you've ever heard of tennis, you know Serena Williams. Born on September 26, 1981 in Saginaw, Michigan, Serena's life was never about taking the easy path. She and her sister Venus grew up in Compton, California, a place not exactly known for tennis courts or country clubs. But what they had was grit and a father who saw greatness in them. Their dad, Richard Williams, taught himself the game so that he could train them, pushing them through hours of practice every day. Serena was the youngest of her mother Oracene Price's 5 daughters, with 3 older half-sisters and her full sister Venus. As a child, she began learning tennis at the age of 4 under the guidance of her father, who also homeschooled both Serena and Venus. Though their parents served as their main coaches, they were also mentored by another Compton local, Richard Williams, who eventually founded the Venus and Serena Williams Tennis Tutorial Academy. When Serena was 9, her family moved from Compton to West Palm Beach, Florida, to enroll her in Rick Machi's Tennis Academy, where she could train more intensively. Machi admired the balance that Richard Williams struck between discipline and letting his daughters enjoy their childhoods. By the age of 10, Serena had a remarkable 46-3 record in USTA junior tournaments, ranking as Florida's top player in her age group. However, her father soon withdrew her and Venus from the junior tournament circuit, believing they should move at their own pace, prioritizing their education and avoiding the risk of burnout. Richard also was discouraged by experiences of racism at competitions, where he overheard other parents making derogatory comments about his daughters. In 1995, when Serena was in 9th grade, her father pulled her out of Machi's academy to coach both daughters full-time himself. Would things have turned out differently if the girls had just taken the usual route and continued playing in the junior leagues? Guess we'll never know. Early career and success. Fast forward a few years, and by 14, Serena was ready to go pro. What most people don't know is that Serena's parents initially intended for her to wait until age 16 to start playing in professional tournaments. But in 1995, at just age 14, she attempted to enter the bank of the West Classic. After being denied due to age restrictions, she debuted later at the Bell Challenge in Quebec, though she lost in the first round. After taking a break from tournaments in 1996, Serena made headlines in 1997 at the Ameritech Cup in Chicago by upsetting top players Mary Pierce and Monica Seles, becoming the lowest-ranked player to defeat 2 top 10 opponents in one event. Her impressive performance vaulted her into the top 100 by year's end, ranking number 99. In 1998, she continued her rise by reaching multiple quarterfinals and competing in her first Grand Slam, where she faced against her sister Venus in the second round of the Australian Open. She also won her first mixed doubles titles at Wimbledon and the US Open with Max Mirnyi. By the end of the year, she had broken into the top 20. 1999 marked a breakthrough year for Serena. She claimed her first singles title in Paris, followed by a major win at the Everett Cup, defeating Steffi Graf. She made history alongside Venus by reaching the first all-sister singles final in Miami. Later, she won her first Grand Slam singles title at the US Open, beating the world number 1 Martina Hingis at just 17 years old, and becoming the second African-American woman after Althea Gibson to win a Grand Slam. She finished the year ranked number 4, making a name for herself as one of the sport's rising stars. Adult career. Between 2000 and 2001, Serena Williams faced a challenging but impactful period. She struggled to defend her titles in Paris and Indian Wells, and had to skip the French Open due to her injury. Despite these setbacks, she and her sister Venus won the doubles title at Wimbledon, and later took home the gold medal in doubles at the Sydney Olympics. Serena finished 2000 ranked number 6. In 2001, Serena and Venus achieved a career Grand Slam in doubles by winning the Australian Open together. She claimed the singles title at the Pacific Life Open in Indian Wells, but began a 14-year boycott after facing racial abuse from the audience. Serena also won the Rogers Cup and competed in the first all-sister Grand Slam final at the US Open, where she lost to Venus. She closed the year at number 6. From 2002 to 2003, Serena entered one of many dominant phases of her career, often referred to as the Serena Slam. Early in 2002, she secured her first clay court title at the Italian Open, then captured her first French Open, propelling her to number 2. She won Wimbledon for the first time, defeating Venus and taking the number 1 ranking. Serena continued to dominate, winning the US Open, and in early 2003 completed a career Grand Slam by winning the Australian Open, where she again beat Venus. This victory marked her holding all 4 Grand Slam singles titles, dubbed the Serena Slam. In 2003, she continued her strong performance, winning titles at the Open Gaz de France and the Sony Ericsson Open. She reached the final of the Family Circle Cup, but lost to Justine Henin amid some controversy. Nonetheless, Serena defended her Wimbledon title, defeating Venus once again. Following this win, she took a break for knee injury, ending her year prematurely but with a formidable record and reputation as one of the most dominant players of her era. After an 8-month break, Serena returned in 2004, winning the Nasdaq 100 Open and later the China Open, but faced tough losses at other major events. Despite controversies like the umpiring issue at the 2004 US Open, her resilience remained evident. In 2005, she won her second Australian Open but struggled with her injuries, causing inconsistent performances. By 2007, she made a notable return, winning the Australian Open unseeded, dedicating her victory to her late sister Yatunda. Williams continued to face injury setbacks but regained her top form, clinching the US Open in 2008 and returning to number 1 in the world. She sustained this momentum through 2009, winning Wimbledon and setting a prize money record, while a controversial outburst at the US Open led to fines and probation. Ending 2009 as the year's top player, she entered 2010 strong, winning the Australian Open and accumulating her 12th Grand Slam title. Serena Williams returned to the WTA in 2011, reaching the US Open final but losing to Stam Stosur, ending the year ranked number 12 with 2 titles. In 2012, despite an early Australian Open exit and an ankle injury, she won Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Olympic gold medal, finishing undefeated at the WTA Championship and earning the ITF World Champion title. Her 2013 season was stellar, starting with a win in Brisbane and reclaiming the number 1 ranking. Williams won 10 titles, including her second French Open and another US Open, making her the oldest US champion in the Open era. Her dominant performance brought multiple accolades, including the ESPY Awards for Best Female Athlete and the Best Female Tennis Player, and she finished the season as the year-end number 1, the oldest in WTA history. In 2014, Serena Williams secured her 7th Miami Open title and later claimed her 3rd US Open singles title in a row, tying Chris Evert's record for the most US Open singles titles in the Open era. She also won her 18th Grand Slam title, equaling the record set by Evert and Navratilova. By the end of the year, Williams had finished as world number 1 and was awarded WTA Player of the Year and ITF World Champion for the 3rd year in a row. Starting in 2015, Williams captured her 19th Grand Slam title at the Australian Open, surpassing Evert and Navratilova's records. She went on to achieve her 20th and 21st Grand Slam titles at the French Open and Wimbledon, respectively, completing her 2nd Serena Slam by holding all 4 Grand Slam titles simultaneously. She also became the oldest woman in the Open era to win a Grand Slam singles title at Wimbledon. In 2016, Williams reached the Australian Open and French Open finals, but finished runner-up in both. She went on to win her 22nd Grand Slam title at Wimbledon, tying Steffi Graf's Open-era record. Later, Williams was defeated in the semifinals of the US Open, and ended the year with ongoing shoulder issues, withdrawing from the WTA finals. In 2017, Serena Williams won her 23rd Grand Slam title at the Australian Open, surpassing Steffi Graf's record of 22 titles. She was also pregnant at the time, but later announced her pregnancy and missed the remainder of the season. After complications including a pulmonary embolism, she gave birth to a daughter in September and returned to play her first match since giving birth at an exhibition in Abu Dhabi in December. In 2018, after withdrawing from the Australian Open, she returned to Grand Slam tennis at the French Open but withdrew before her match against Sharapova due to an injury. She reached the Wimbledon final but lost to Angelique Kerber. At the US Open, she reached the final against Naomi Osaka. However, controversies overshadowed the match due to code violations and fines following a dispute with the umpire. The aftermath included public debate, with some supporting Serena's stance on gender bias while others criticized her behavior. In 2019, Serena Williams made a strong comeback, reaching the Australian Open quarterfinals and defeating world number 1 Halep. Although an ankle injury led to her exit against Karolina Pliskova, her ranking rose to number 11. Williams also reached the Wimbledon final, marking her 13th consecutive Grand Slam final appearance but lost to Halep. She continued with strong performances, including a US Open final appearance, ultimately finishing the year ranked number 10. In 2020, Williams got her first singles title as a mother in the ASB Classic, but struggled with injuries, failing to reach a Grand Slam final. The following year, she reached the Australian Open semifinals but was plagued with injuries, including an Achilles injury and a leg injury, which led to her early exits and her ranking dropping significantly. In 2022, Williams announced her plans to retire, stating that she wants to focus on her family and business ventures. She began her farewell tour, winning her first singles match in 14 months at the Canadian Open, and later entered the US Open, where she upset world number 2 Anett Kontaveit. She ultimately concluded her career with a final match loss to Ayla Tomljanovic at the US Open, championing feminism and equality. Just like her sister Venus, Serena had used her platform to demand for equal pay, particularly in the sports industry. They raised awareness of the issue and have been seen talking about it in several interviews. She's often said the success of every woman should inspire another, and she truly lives by that. Aside from that, Serena has also been very vocal about her issues beyond the game. She's experienced her share of misogyny and racial discrimination, but continues to stand up for herself and others. Some decades ago, tennis mainly consisted of white people, but now African American children growing up in poor areas also have an opportunity, and she's playing her part through her influence and financial commitment. Personal life and family. Serena's journey isn't just about her accomplishments, she's also a firm believer in the importance of family. She once said, "Family is first, and that's what matters most." Her close bond with her sister Venus and her deep love for her family have always been a part of her story. In 2017, Serena added mother to her long list of titles. She met her husband, Alexis Ohanian, in Rome, and the couple is blessed with a baby girl, Olympia. She won the Australian Open while she was pregnant and faced severe health complications after giving birth. Serena Williams' experience with childbirth became a powerful story of resilience, especially for Black women who often face challenges in healthcare. Her childbirth journey was life-threatening. After an emergency cesarean section, she developed blood clots in her lungs, which required 2 additional surgeries. Serena's persistence saved her life. She advocated for herself, urging doctors to conduct a CT scan that revealed clots they initially missed. Beyond the physical challenges, Serena also struggled with postpartum depression. She faced self-doubt, worrying if she could meet her baby's needs, and juggled training with breastfeeding and pumping. Her openness about these hard times had inspired mothers worldwide, encouraging them to speak up for themselves and prioritize their mental health. Throughout her story, Serena has not only become an icon in athletics, but also a champion for mothers facing similar struggles. Businesses and investments. Serena isn't just a tennis player, she's a brand, a leader, and a force. From launching her own clothing and jewelry lines to starting Serena Ventures, a venture capitalist firm focused on women and minority-owned businesses, Serena has paved her way as a businesswoman too. She's also a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and has funded 2 schools in Kenya. Beyond her tennis achievements, Serena Williams has built a strong business portfolio. In 2015, she launched her venture capital fund, Serena Ventures, which has invested in numerous companies, including Zigazoo, a popular social media app for kids that now has over 1 million users. Serena has also entered the beauty and wellness markets. In 2022, she co-founded Will Perform, a brand offering pain relief and body care products geared towards sports recovery. Additionally, she runs her own fashion line, S by Serena, and a jewelry collection, Serena Williams Jewelry. In media, Serena founded 926 Productions, a multimedia company currently developing projects such as the soccer documentary Copa 71. She and her sister Venus are executive producers on the Oscar-nominated film King Richard, which tells the story of their father's role in their careers. Adding author to her list of accomplishments, Serena published a children's book titled The Adventures of Kai Kai in September 2022, further expanding her influence beyond the sports world. Serena Williams has been called the greatest for a reason. She's overcome obstacles, shattered records, and given a voice to so many along the way. So next time you think of the GOAT in tennis, remember Serena's journey from those courts in Compton up to the very top of the game. If her story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thank you for watching, and let's keep on celebrating those who transform the world. See you in the next one!